Hello, champions. Coach Tina here. It is time for I guess I'll take down the starting soon because we are starting right now. It is time for our masterclass from procrastination to desired destination. Look, you guys, I have a new backdrop. It's not going to be the one forever. I am operating from the kitchen in our new home, and the lighting is not my favorite. I don't have my multiple screens, but we are still going live and doing everything that we can to support you guys in this fun topic that we have for our masterclass. So let me go ahead and get started. It's interesting. I don't like this view. Let's go where you get a bigger screen. We'll do that one right there, and that should be perfect. So if you don't know me, I am Coach Tina, and I have been doing the From Procrastination to Desired Destination 3-day masterclass for women who are ready to take action and accomplish their dreams for quite some time now. This is a membership benefit for those that are in the Empowering Champions community. And this is a presentation that is near and dear to my heart because you may or may not have noticed that the word procrastination has my name in it. However, the word destination does as well. And it kind of goes along with what I believe about life, that we get to make our own choices. So I could choose to label myself a procrastinator, or I can choose to be someone who goes after their dreams and reaches their desired destiny. And I believe we have that within all of us. And I'm really excited to be sharing what we're going to cover in these next 3 days. This is my Grateful, Thankful, Blessed edition, mostly because in the United States, it is our Thanksgiving, but also because I really wanted to start talking about the emotions behind what we are doing with procrastination. So today we're going to talk about how to be grateful when life is not as good as you want it to be. I know for a long time I was kind of flatlined in life. My life was good, but it wasn't until I said, you know what? I'm not going to accept the standard of just ho-hum. I'm going to push myself to have a great life. And with that comes a little bit of backlash, right? It's not as easy to have a great life as it is to just be okay. And so what we are going to do is we're going to talk about gratefulness today. We're going to talk about thankfulness tomorrow in our day 2, give thanks for not having what you want yet. And then day 3, we're going to have hope that good things will happen. So let's keep going. Please feel free to drop in the comments that you are here. And Margaret, I see you. Thank you so much. Good morning. Yes. And go ahead and drop #live and where you are watching from. We have many people who are interested in being a part of this masterclass this month. I'm hoping that everybody got the notification and are seeing the slides right now. If not, please know that we'll get the replay out to you. And so if you're watching replay, go ahead and put #replay if you're catching this later. So let's talk about procrastination. Procrastination is when we postpone or delay things we know we need to do. This is not being lazy. This is not making a choice to not do those things. This is when we know it's in our best interest to do something, but we just can't seem to make it happen. And so we need to be examining that because most likely, from what I have heard, procrastination is keeping you from reaching your dreams. It also makes you stressed, overwhelmed, or allows other things to take priority over the things that you know that if you were working on them, you would have the life that you have wanted for so long. I really feel like as women, we kind of have adopted an identity that says, I'm going to put my kids as my priority. And we operate in that place for so long that when we start to get to the other side of that, when we can take some time back for ourselves, we're still running a program that says we no longer are the priority. And so when something pops up into our to-do list and it seems like it has priority over us, it is natural for us to push our own dreams to the side and work on somebody else's needs. But in reality, we're holding ourselves back from that thing that would help us to feel fulfilled and would allow us to step into the purpose for what we're here for. And if you know me at all, you know that one of the things I say is you are designed by God for greatness and a purpose. And I truly believe that. That was something that I have had to come to terms with on my journey, that we are all meant for greatness. And that is why we have this community where I try to encourage women that to step into that greatness, to unearth what your skills and talents and special skills are, your uniqueness, the thing that makes you only you. You are on this earth for a reason. And if procrastination is what's getting in your way of being, basically fulfilling the role that you have on this earth, let's eradicate that. Let's get that out of the way so that that no longer has to be part of your story. So, where are the areas that you are procrastinating in your life? Go ahead and write those down, put them in the comments. And we do this every month, but we do it because most likely we are delaying doing the things that we want to do. Even if you're on track and you're meeting your goals and you're doing those things, there's probably one or two areas of your life that you're still kind of putting to the side and not getting to. So we want to have awareness around these, and go ahead and put those in the comments. If you have the workbook printed out already, this is part of the VIP process. So if you have the workbook, there are pages in there designated for day one. There's an area in there to write down these areas where you might be procrastinating. And this is really just to help you take a snapshot and say, this is what is going on with me. Yeah, and I see StreamYard doesn't always let me know who this is. So you're organizing a lot of things that you've put aside is one of the things you're procrastinating on. Totally get you. It's so easy to do. I have to admit, I'm a little bit overwhelmed with all of the boxes, and we haven't even moved everything over to the new house yet. So I have to take that big deep breath sometimes. It's not necessarily procrastination, but I know how easy it is to push things to the side and think that you're going to get to it again later and then it not happening. Yes. Very good. Thank you. And that's Vanessa. So Vanessa, I love that's what you're working on. All right. So let's keep moving along here. Thank you for sharing about what you're procrastinating on. And the thing that we want to look for is looking for the patterns. Now, I think this is interesting because I thought I dropped another slide in, and it's not the one that I wanted. So interesting. We may come across another slide, and I might have to repeat this. But the point is, if you have a pattern in your past of not doing the things that you want to do, you'll want to take note of that. And you'll want to use that as a blueprint to understand what you did to not make that happen. And it's really important that you hone in on the emotion and the pain that you have linked to when you don't do things. Some of us do it just so that we can experience some guilt. That maybe it's when we have that guilty feeling that gives us enough emotion to push us into action. I love the word emotion because it's actually, emotion is there for us to take action. It puts us in motion, emotion. And so when we have an emotion like anger, it's a clue that we're frustrated about something. So we need to take action to fix the thing that we feel has gone wrong, right? If we're feeling love, then that's a closer motion. We go closer to the things that we love. And so you want to identify your pattern in the past, but you want to also be thinking about that emotion. And I'm betting that the slide's going to come up really soon, but we want to look at our procrastination pattern, and we want to think about the theme that is coming up for us when we procrastinate. That awareness, that understanding of where our priorities lie is going to help us to understand more deeply the procrastination that goes on with us. All right. So what we want to do is we want to think about what we really want. And when we project ourselves into the future us and we think about that dream that we have been dreaming on, I had someone this week ask me about what is your 15-year dream? And when you project out that far, like imagine yourself in 2038. Wow, right? I wrote down that Chris and I will have been married for 22 years. And that is a really exciting thing for us because both of us came from prior 20-year marriages. And it was really a loss to walk out of that relationship after investing so much time. And so when I wrote down 22 years from now, 15 years from now, we will be at 22 years. My heart leapt because I was like, I'm going to get back what I lost and have that long-term marriage and know that it's a totally different one. And I don't know about you, but there was a lot of emotion tied to that. And so when you think out, when you project out, what emotion is tied to your dream? For me, there's a lot of love. This 20 years is going to be totally different than the first 25 that I was in, right? But what I recognize is that there's kind of a formula for dreaming. And when we set our dreams, okay, we say that where we are now, plus us doing something, is going to result in that big dream. So forgive me for being a math teacher here, but A plus B equals C. A is where you are, B is what you need to do, and C is the result you're looking for. And what happens is we're not doing B, right? We're procrastinating on the effort behind getting to C because we are who we are. We're A, and then we do something and we get the results. If we're not doing the thing, we can't get the results. But if the results are related to emotions that you don't believe you deserve, then your body, our nervous system that we've been working on for a while, it doesn't believe that you deserve that emotion. And so you consciously, even though you want it, the other part of you, your subconscious, says, but you have a rule that says you don't deserve love, or you failed in some way before, so you don't get that, or bad people are rich, so you don't get to be rich. Fill in the blank, right? It could be any of those things, but because you're running two programs at the same time, they conflict. They don't allow you to recognize what you want, that seed that's out there. So I'm getting a lot of comments. I'm going to go ahead and put them up and show them. So Margaret is saying love. She's proud of herself, joyful, and she believes she deserves to feel those emotions. Good, good, good. I love that. So she's dreaming about love and she's proud of herself. And she's thinking about the three emotions related to what you want. I love it. And this is probably Vanessa. A lot of procrastination is due to being in the pain. I started with living back home with my mom after my relationship ended, especially knowing I was welcome coming here. I love that because that's awareness, right? You're digging deeper, and that the surface level will never get you where you want to go. It's the external, it's what other people see. But when you dig in deeper, you are going to start to experience an awakening of your senses, an awakening of your awareness, and you're going to start to be like, oh, okay, I get this. And so as you look at those dreams and whether or not you believe you deserve it, procrastination can often happen because there's some conflict in the emotions. And so I was asking you to write down 3 emotions related to what you want. And I want you to dig deeper than just say love, right? Because love is a base emotion, but what's underneath that? What parts of love are you really looking for? And so one of the things I sent out in an email this week, and I have it here, but I think it's a little bit harder to see, is the emotions wheel. Now, this is just one version of the wheel. I liked this one because it kind of defined out around the circle some of the categories. And this one is by Abby Van Mugen. There's lots of them out there. So you could just Google emotions wheel, and wheel is not spelled with an I, so apologies. Sometimes when I type it really small, I can't see it. But the way these wheels work is in the center are what they determine is the core emotions that we have as humans. And the words will change a little bit here. Like, for instance, Abby uses the word genius, and some people use the word startle here as a base emotion, but I know you'll get the gist behind this. And then basically there's a core of emotions that go out from there, and then an even deeper dive into the emotions. So let's examine the genius, because it's an unusual one. One layer is inspired, to be in awe, to be interested, confident, focused, creative, passionate, challenged. And then it goes out to moved and proud and curious and brave, in the flow, manic, like totally in focus of what you're doing, empowered or motivated. And the reason why these emotion wheels are good is, what I have noticed is people tend to get stuck in only having a few words for the emotions that they're having. So this tool is a really good way for you to dig deeper and to kind of get all the flavors of an emotion. Okay. And I love it. Vanessa's having a breakthrough here. I love this, Vanessa. She has finally realized that she deserves happiness, joy, and great people in her life. I love that. I love that. And so you might be examining the joy area here and looking for, where are your emotions in that realm that you would like to experience more of? There's something like, in the English language, we have 500,000 words. This is, in English, it has the most words of any language, but we don't use them all, right? We actually have very limited vocabularies, and on average, we recycle the same words over and over again. I think what I read was we only use about 40,000 words, and in any given day, the most we talk is around 6,000 to 7,000. And that actually equates to 12 written pages. How crazy is that? So if you took every word you used every day, less than 12 pages get out there. And so you want to explore all the nuances of emotion, not just being sad. You want to take it all the way through and really examine grief and understand if you are in one place more than another. And the reason why this is important is that, I think my next slide, and I'm sorry, guys, that I don't have, and I'm not aware of where my slides are here, but the grateful, the thankful, and the blessed, those are all nuances of positive emotions, right? And one of the things that Tony tells us, which I think is really interesting, you guys know I'm a Tony Robbins freak. I love having more depth in what he talks about. But he tells us that we can't have a positive emotion and a negative emotion at the same time. Like hate and love, it's either one or the other. And so we can switch from emotion to emotion fairly quickly. And here's a little exercise for you. I want you to imagine a time when you felt really happy. Just kind of get into that place where you're like jumping up and down, you were excited about something. And then let's go into a negative emotion, a time that you were sad. And I want you to even move your body. Like, how do you move your body when you're sad or depressed? A lot of us will curl into ourselves. We'll go out, inward. Whereas if we go back out into a positive emotion, that's more of an open stance, right? And so our bodies relate these emotions, and we can actually, as we switch in the click of a finger or the snap of a finger, we can go from emotion to emotion, and we actually have some control over that. And so when it feels better to be in a good mood, why not allow yourself to have that moment where you switch into the good mood, where you remember something that made you laugh, where you remember a time in your life where you felt so grateful for what you have. Gratitude journals, writing down 3 things a day that you're grateful for is a great practice. It will help you. Asking the question, what can I be grateful for in this moment when things are going to pot, is a perfect thing to set yourself up for, because it gives you that extra reminder that we are alive, right? And then being thankful for everything that happens, the lessons that you learn, and recognizing the blessings in everything that you have. Those are things that you have access to. So what I was going to say earlier about the emotions is a lot of times we claim an emotion, like let's say depression, and we will say, I'm depressed. And depression, when it's compartmentalized into one word and it's actually many facets of you, but you use one word to describe it, then it's really easy for you to go into that depression. You say, I'm depressed, you get depressed. Whereas you've made an association with that word that causes you to be a certain way. But if maybe you go to, instead of depressed, you're frustrated, disappointed, discouraged, unhappy, okay? Those are all nuances of depression. But now you could maybe examine the nuance, and the next time you have an experience, instead of saying, I'm depressed about that, you could say, I'm disappointed. Now you could build a new association with disappointed that doesn't shut you down completely. Because I hate to say this, you guys, but emotions are habits. And so as we examine the habit, we can create a new habit, a new, more empowering habit that allows us to shift and feel life differently. And when we're doing that, we're going to be more likely to go after that core dream, the thing that we want, because now the thing in the middle isn't holding us back. And we're going to really examine that tomorrow. I've got an exercise that I'm very excited about us doing. All right, let me switch to the next slide. We're running out of time here. So this month, we are trying to focus on what are we doing right now that is setting us up for dreams in the future. So when you look at that long-term vision, whether it's 3 or 5 or 10 or 15 years from now, you have an emotion, you have a thing that you're wanting. It's not just the thing that you're trying to do, it's that it's going to give you some kind of an emotion. And what I want you to think about is, what could you do this month that would give you the emotion that that dream would give you? So if you are looking for love in the future, then what could you do this month that would give you some nuances of love? And so when I asked you to write down those 3 emotions, right? I want you to practice. So basically, we're going to build the muscle now of what emotions you want to be experiencing in the future. And how many of you think this could be an interesting way to live your life? Because as you practice having these emotions, what do you think is going to happen? You're probably going to get more motivated. You're going to be closer to that dream. Very good. And Vanessa says she's learning to say, okay, so I try to show that emotion I want to experience in my life. Yes, yes, yes. And that is what we're going to be working on this month. So I want you to tie your goals for this month. You're going to have things you have to get done. Those of you that have done the 90-day planning, that is a wonderful tool that we have to set us up for what is it we're looking for. But now this month, you're going to be taking a look at those 90-day goals. And you're going to be thinking, what can I be doing this month to move me further along? Looking at our benchmark documents, how do I get to that next place? And how do I set the emotion I want to experience at that next level? And how can I practice doing things that give me that emotion? And here's the fun thing about emotions. They don't cost anything. We can have those emotions by remembering times we've had them in our past, by visioning them, thinking about the things that we're going to do to make them happen. Your brain doesn't know the difference between reality and things that are really going on. So get your brain to pattern on the emotions that you want and see how the world kind of comes forward and shifts things for you and gives you that experience you're really looking for. Oh, I'm so excited about this, you guys. I really think emotion is the key to moving us forward in procrastination. and not procrastinating, I should say. And I think you're really going to see some good benefits this month from that. So tomorrow we will be talking about giving thanks for not having what you want yet, right? And so please comment your biggest insight that you have had today and complete your day one workbook pages. If you don't have your workbook yet and you want it, what you need to do for me is comment #VIP, and you will get access to the workbook, the survey link, the question and answer Zoom, and you will get the weekend workshop. So these are Eastern times that these are happening on. If you need to convert it to your time zone, Eastern is New York time, and you can also go to coachtina.live/time, and it tells you what time it is in my zone, as well as has a place you can click that will give you access to the place you can click and convert it to your time zone. So I want everybody that needs this information to get access to it, and I'm happy to give you the link. I can't type it in when we're on StreamYard. I hate that about that, but I will put it in the feed as soon as I'm done here. All right, you guys, I am so pleased that we are having this time together. I hope that you have a truly blessed day and that we get to see you here on day 2 tomorrow. Don't forget, put in #VIP, replay if you're watching this later. And for those of you that need the, I lost my thought. Those of you with the VIP, perfect. I'll get you the links in just a minute, or I'll put them in the feed as well. But there was one other thing I was going to say. I guess it's just going to have to wait till tomorrow. Have a great day, you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Oh, don't forget to put your insights into what you got from the class.